You ever have something that you absolutely love doing, but there's just those little things that annoy you? Me too. I'm Travis. Let's get wanderlost. Nicole and I absolutely love sailing with Royal Caribbean. We've gone on so many cruises with them that we're actually diamond members in the Crown and Anchor Society. When we were booking our first ever cruise, we selected Royal Caribbean for a couple different reasons. The first being the ships. Royal Caribbean has some of the newest ships in the cruise line industry, and they are full of unique innovations that separates them from the other brands. Nicole and I aren't really party people, so we wanted something a little bit more chill, but still had plenty of stuff to do while we were at sea. And honestly, a lot of the reviews said that Royal Caribbean was one of the best cruise lines out there, and the customer service that we had before we even started sailing pretty much proved that as well. After our first cruise with Royal Caribbean, we had such an amazing time that we were absolutely hooked, and we continued to use them. But with most things in life, it doesn't matter if it's your spouse, your dog, your job, your car, your favorite sports team, there's going to be some things that just simply annoy you that they do. It doesn't stop you from loving those things, but you just wish they would just stop doing that stuff. And Royal Caribbean does a few of these things, and we're going to talk about it in this video. The first thing we'll talk about, for the things that annoy us about cruising with Royal Caribbean, happens before you even get on a ship. It's the marketing. If you've ever decided to book a cruise with Royal Caribbean and you've signed up for their emails, you pretty much already know what we're talking about. Multiple times per week, you're going to get an email about a sale, some sort of announcement, different drink packages. Basically, they just overdo all of the marketing and kind of inundate your email box with tons and tons of stuff. Listen, I'm sure there's some marketing genius out there that's going to say this stuff works, especially if you look at Royal Caribbean's financial results over the last few quarters. But man, is it annoying. The amount of emails and the amount of marketing material you get isn't even the most annoying part. It's the fact that none of the percentage offs, this sale, time running out stuff even feels like it's real. You're going to see the 35% off or $600 off this or $700 off that, kids cruise free type of stuff. And you go and you check the prices of the cruises and they look almost identical to what they were a few days ago. Are they even real sales? The thing is that Royal Caribbean uses dynamic pricing. So the more people book a particular cruise or a particular cabin, the higher the prices will go. The inverse is also true, but in this day and age, people aren't cruising less, they're cruising more. So the sales don't really affect the prices of the cruises more than how many people are actually booking that cruise. My favorite ones are the ones that have a countdown timer saying like, oh, in the next 20 hours or whatever, you can get this price. And then when the timer reaches 0, you'll get another email saying, sale extended. You have this much time left to get it. And honestly, if you check the sale, it's probably no different than it was 3 days ago when the sale wasn't even going on. So yeah, it's super annoying. It can be frustrating. It makes you check their website over and over and over again, seeing if you're going to get a better deal. That's probably the point. Our biggest suggestion is basically when you see a price that you like, just book that price. You can always call back and either reprice your cruise or the drink package or anything like that. So just find a price you like, book early, and then lock it in. If it goes lower, just call back. Stop paying attention to all the marketing emails. And maybe one day, probably not though, Royal Caribbean will stop with the oversaturation of all the emails and all the marketing stuff and the ploys and the countdown timers, but I seriously doubt it. We'll just be annoyed with it forever. The next thing that kind of annoys us about Royal Caribbean cruising is how expensive cruises have gotten over the last couple years. And more specifically, because everything's expensive now, is their pricing model, where you never know how much your cruise is going to be, and you'll check early in the day, and there's a very good chance by later in the day the price has either gone up or changed or any of that sort of stuff. The pricing is just out there. It's weird, it's expensive, and it changes all the time. We recently booked a cruise with another company for next year, and I kind of was frantic, like, we got to book in this price, it's a great price, let's book it. We did, and 2 weeks later the price is still the same. So I didn't really need to rush to do that. I guess we're just currently trained by Royal Caribbean is to see a price you like, you gotta act quickly. Because you can check the next day and the price is going to be completely different, the offers are going to be different. Chances are the price is going to be way more than what you saw the previous day. And you just have to act now. I get Royal Caribbean wants you to do that. They want you to act quickly and spend your money. But for us, it's just super annoying because you just want a couple minutes to kind of figure out if you want to book this cruise or not, or a couple days. I need to think about it. And by the time you think about it, the price has already changed. This is the world of dynamic pricing. I don't think it's going away anytime soon because Royal Caribbean is making money off of it. But man, would I just kill for some standardized pricing where it's predictable and you don't have to worry about dynamic pricing and the prices going up and time's running out and all that sort of stuff. And it's just the marketing stuff, I guess, extended. But the pricing system that Royal Caribbean uses is super annoying. Alright, another pre-cruise thing that annoys us about Royal Caribbean cruising is the fact that they removed the package that I used to buy on every single cruise, which was the Wi-Fi and soda package. Up until recently, you used to be able to get the Wi-Fi and soda package together as a bundle, and it would be about $15 to $20. They've recently upgraded to Starlink internet, which is better internet. It's way better, actually. You know, you don't have to worry about dead spots in the middle of the ocean and it not working. It works great, but there's also a higher cost to Royal Caribbean, and they've kind of passed that on to customers. So now you have to get the internet package separately, which is about anywhere from $20 to $25 per day on average. And then you add that to the $10 per day for the soda package. You're spending $30 to $35 a day instead of the old days where you spend about $18 to $20. This removal of something that kind of saved us money kind of, I don't know, annoys me, for lack of a better word, because now you have to spend more money to get the same type of experience, which I guess is kind of common in today's day and age. But at the same point, I do wish I could get both of the packages together rather than paying for both separately. I really hope they bring back the soda and internet package combo, because right now I'm kind of refusing to buy the Wi-Fi package because it's just not worth it to me to have internet for $20 a day on top of what I'm already paying. Alright, let's talk about stuff that happens on your cruise that annoys us about cruising with Royal Caribbean. The first thing I'll bring up is the new menus in the main dining room. I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of the themed nights that they recently switched to. So if you didn't know, in the main dining room, Royal Caribbean has Mexican night or Caribbean night or French night. Basically every night of your cruise has a different menu that kind of has a themed type of food that goes with it. Now I know what you're saying. What could be annoying about having themed nights? That seems kind of cool. You're on a cruise, it's vacation. The thing that's annoying about it is, let's say you just spent your entire day in Cozumel, Mexico. You had some street tacos or a really good burrito, and then you get back on the ship and it's Mexican night. And I can guarantee the Mexican food in the main dining room is not going to be anywhere near the quality of the food you just had while you were in actual Mexico. It's just not going to be the same quality as what you just had on mainland. It's just not. It's the same thing when you leave Rome. It's probably the same thing if you had a cruise in Asia or a cruise out of France. I don't need themed nights when I just spent the entire day in that country. I probably had better food in that country than what can be produced in the main dining room. Just give me good menus. I kind of miss the days of the old menus that Royal Caribbean had, where you had a little bit of a variety each night. It wasn't completely locked to a specific type of food. I understand why they made the change because it cuts down costs and it makes prep times easier in the main dining room. But it's super annoying, especially, like I said, when you get off of Cozumel and you have Mexican night in the main dining room, and it's nowhere near as good as what the food is that you had on land. and it's just not what you were looking for. Alright, we'll continue in the main dining room for something else that annoys us. Back in the day, you used to be able to go in the main dining room on the last night of your cruise, and they would do like this special celebratory thing because it was your last night. Hey, let's recognize your servers, let's recognize the chefs and people who prepared your food. How much did you enjoy your cruise aboard whatever ship you were on? It was always on the last night of your cruise, and people would raise their napkins in the air and wave them around and applaud and basically give the people that serve you in the main dining room a round of applause for being as good as they are with great service and how good the food was. Nicole and I have been retail managers for a pretty long time. I actually just recently got out of being a retail manager, but it's still ingrained into you. You understand how important surveys are and the rewards that go into them, and it's no different on a cruise ship. The people that work on the cruise ship get rewarded if their names are called out in the surveys, and there's a financial benefit to them for having good surveys on the cruise ship. But I kind of think they're taking it too far, because nowadays when you go in the main dining room on your cruise, instead of it being on the last day that they do this celebratory thing, they've been doing it like 3 or 4 days of your cruise. So the middle of your dinner service gets stopped by somebody yelling into the PA system, and then a parade of servers around the dining room, and it's just kind of distracting when you're trying to have a nice dinner with your spouse or your family. Can we just do this on the last day? I get the survey is important, and we want to reward our servers and the people that serve us on the ship, but 3 days of this, 4 days of this sometimes? Let's go back to the last day of the cruise being the day that we do this. Yeah, it's super annoying. I wish they would change that or at least stop doing it. Alright, so one more thing that annoys us about cruising with Royal Caribbean, and it is the Coke Freestyle machines. Now, there are some ships that don't have these machines, and that's just annoying in itself, because you have to go to a bar every single time that you want a soda, and it's supposed to be something quick. I just put it under a machine, get my drink, and now I have to talk to somebody. And that, like I said, that's kind of annoying when you don't have that luxury. But the machines themselves, it's Coca-Cola, I know, but they need so much work to make them reliable on a ship that has 6,000 people on it that are getting soda pretty frequently. So these machines go down, they break, there's not enough of them. So I just want to quickly go down to the promenade and get Coke. You go down to the promenade, you go to Sorrento's, there's no Coke in the machine. Or you put your cup on the machine and it gives you an error saying your cup isn't working, or there's no ice, or whatever it happens to be. Now you need to go find another machine. The Windjammer's closed, so the only other one is on the pool deck on Symphony. It's just not as convenient as it should be. I heard they've taken care of this on Icon of the Seas and have more Coke Freestyle machines on there. But right now, from our experience, something that could be so good is kind of annoying because there's just not enough machines and they don't work as well as they should. Alright, I think that's enough complaining for today. So that was a few items that kind of annoy us about cruising with Royal Caribbean. Obviously, these are very small things. We still absolutely love cruising on Royal Caribbean. It's our preferred cruise line currently. And these things don't really stop us or even hinder our vacation. It's just one of those things you're like, man, I wish that was better. So if you have some things that annoy you about your cruises, leave them in the comments section below. If you have any questions about any of our trips or any of the cruises that we've been on, please make sure you leave a comment and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. And as always, make sure you like and subscribe. It really supports the channel. If you need me, I'll be up in the Windjammer. Thanks for watching.